The offer handling server is the part of the SEETSOC suite of programs that deals with aggregating and verifying offers, selecting which ones will be transactioned, then following up with the transactions and generating billing information. This is the part of the suite that provides an interface for the users, representatives of the TCOs, through which they can submit their offers, and an interface for the supervisors, through which they can perform the operations needed in order to keep the market systems running smoothly. The first step of the required process is that in which the TSOs submit their offers. This is done through a simple web interface and includes a verification step in which the offers are checked for validity. The second step is that of the merit order creation. Once the offers have been aggregated, the ones that will go through the transactioning phase will be decided based upon the merit order procedure that establish the market price and the quantities to be transactioned. Before going through, an additional verification step is required in which the results of the merit order are checked in order to ensure compliance with the network parameters. If needed, the results of the previous step can be readjusted. Once the verification has been completed, the transactions are scheduled for execution. The transaction procedure is subsequently followed up by supervisors, and the final parameters of the transactions are recorded. The final step of the process is to generate the transaction settlement notes, which constitute the information based on which billing is carried out. This process requires a separation of user roles, and this separation is a classical case of role-based user management. The application's users fall in two groups: users who can upload offers and check their offer status but have no access to information about other users or their offers, and administrators who can initiate merit order and verification, supervise and follow up on transactions, and perform user and group management, but otherwise they can play no role in the aggregation of offer. Finally, let us just say a few words about the architecture and tools of this system. The entire application is implemented in a model view controller frame. This is a classic design pattern that, applied correctly, guarantees ease of extension and maintenance, as the application logic is separate from the presentation layer. In order to ensure portability and easy deployment, we chose to use the Web2Py framework, an enterprise-class web application framework. Its most important feats are a comprehensive database abstraction layer and a complete set of deployment and application management tools. Besides the web interface, some of the functions of the offer handling server are available as web services over SOAP. This guarantees ease of integration, as every function of the program needs only a thin XML wrapper over the presentation layer in order to allow access through a web service. The first thing that I will show you is the offer upload process. The usual scenario here is that a representative of the TCO will upload their offers to the application, which will add them to the database and schedule them for enclosure in the merit order computation at the end of the day. The offers are sent in a standard XML format, which is essentially human readable, but is usually generated by automated GUI tools like the one we proposed in our deliverable. Using that particular client is not required though, as any client compatible with the standard can be used. The offer contains information about the energy quantity, price and regulation type for every hour of the day, and once wrapped in an XML file, we simply need to log in and go to the offer upload page. Now I will select the offer that I want to upload. I have prepared a couple in advance for this demo. I will click submit, and I will be notified that the offer was accepted and registered with a particular ID number. This ID number should be kept for reference, because throughout the day a TCO might want to amend their offer. In this case, they need to specify that the offer they are uploading is a previous version of another offer, and specify its ID in this box here. Now upon uploading, the offer is checked for validity, and I will show you this by trying to upload an offer for an interval after the valid bidding time, and you will see that this offer is not accepted because the bidding time has passed. This also happens if the syntax is invalid, or if any transaction parameters are incorrect or are outside their valid ranges. The past offers are available under the offer history page, which displays all the offers that have been uploaded by a user, including those that have not been accepted, which are kept there for reference. Alright, I have now logged back in as an administrator. The first module that is interesting for the supervisors is the merit order module. The first step here, of course, is choosing the date. I will pick May 5th for this example. And we can also specify a maximum quantity for which we can do the transactions. Otherwise, if it is not specified, the maximum possible quantity will be selected. Then again, we can also select and should also select the regulation type for which we want to compute the merit order, and we click Submit Query. Now, prior to this, I have added a number of additional offers so that we have some data to work on. The merit order will be generated for all the intervals, and we can submit the results for verification and scheduling. Prior to that, though, a first inspection is possible on a number of statistics that are generated first. The stats are available for each interval, and if no offers were found for a certain interval, or if none were selected for transactions, they will just be empty, like in this case here. Now we can submit this set of transactions for congestion verification scheduling, and if everything is fine, a set of transactions will be scheduled for that particular day, and the administrator can now follow up with them. We do the follow-up from the concluding transactions module. We will follow a familiar pattern here. We select the date, which is May 5th, and we get a list of all the transactions that are pending for that particular day. We can edit each of them. At a minimum, the supervisor should check the transaction box here, which indicates that the transaction has been concluded. But he can also amend the final parameters of the transactions. For instance, in case the metered quantity was lower than the scheduled one, and the TCOs later settled for another price. We click Submit, and you will see that the offer is now also labeled as having been transactioned. Now, once the full data on the transactions is available, we can generate the billing information from the transaction settlement module. Again, we will select the date for which we want to generate the billing information. We click Submit Query. Now we are notified that the data for transaction settlement has been saved and can be used for billing. And we are also notified about how many settlement notes have been generated. This data is now available to the billing interface and can be presented directly to the clients if so required.